was actually just interrupted in this clip, but you know, I'm just going to continue. These utter sickos, and it's quite annoying the way they interrupt me when I'm making these videos. That's part of it as well. Anyway, these utter sickos, you know, just like with the case of that one female with the Flint, Michigan situation. I'll put her name in the comments if I cared enough to. She was the one who discovered the drugged water. You know, another case of minorities claiming that the government was turning a blind eye to the drugging of their water, or the drugging in general. You know, the covert drugging, the quote-unquote accidental drugging. And the government attacked her and attacked her, then they turned around and changed their narrative. They did the same thing, and just like with her case, it was on record. We have it on record. On fucking record. All you little sniveling cowards, you Santa Clara County Sheriff Department pigs, look at you now! Look at you now! Pussies! In the top martial arts, you're a fat fucking pig with a little tin badge. Acting like the world doesn't know that I'm your superior, you piece of shit. Anyway, like I said before, exactly what you would expect to have happened, happened. They teamed up together. The video I had with the interview, I have a screenshot of that as well. It had 42 views, 7 likes, and 2 dislikes. They brought it down to 11 views. The 7 likes and the 2 dislikes remained. I know this because on Facebook, I went way out of my way to post this video in over 9 different groups, including electronic harassment groups. There was at least 42 people who saw this video, who clicked on it. Not to mention my normal viewers. They lowered it down to about the level of the other videos and slightly above the level of the likes and the dislikes. So that, you know, what are the odds that 9 out of 11 people put either like and dislike? That is just unprecedented. It just doesn't happen. These libidinous dogs, these people are sickos. They are rapists. They are sexual deviant dogs. And you wonder, well, why am I calling them all these names? For those of you who looked it up, because these words aren't that common. Why am I calling them all these names related to sexual immorality? Well, remember in the video, she pointed out that it was precinct 6 of whatever, you know, district she was talking about. And she said, well, this guy, you know, she was a bail bondswoman, and they had basically offered her, solicited her for sex in the squad car and bragged about how they have sex with prostitutes. Now, we all know this is how it goes down. Just Google LA County, LA police officers busted for, you know, coercing prostitutes and sex. Just Google police officers busted for coercing prostitutes into sex. You know, it happens so much. I've had police officers from San Jose Police Department, and which is, you know, they haven't really given me too much of a hard time. I haven't really spoken on them too much. But I've had one of them come up to me and tell me that it is part of their, you know, they compared the female I was with to being some kind of whore or something. And they said that it was part of their, you know, it was part of the, you know, it's common knowledge that pimps, you know, allow police officers to have sex with their women in order to, you know, to their prostitutes in order to, you know, make business run smoothly, or cut them in, or whatever you want to call it. Give them vested interest in their, you know, distribution of pussy, if you will, whatever you want to call it. So it's quite apparent what is going on here. Exactly what you would expect to have happen when 2 targeted individuals team up. And, you know, of all the videos I've seen, my videos are the most damning already. They tell the story the best. They go the most in the detail. They have the most valid sources cited in the videos by far. And now I came out with this one of this person who, you know, wasn't targeted until they helped me with my videos. And that's also something that's out of the ordinary with other targeted individuals, because my videos are such a damning presentation of all the groups I talk about. It just destroys them. Okay, there's certain philosophies you need to beware of the most, and because I'm saying this, you will have to beware of them pretending to be something else. Atheists, LGBT, racists or eugenicists, feminists, Satanists, and the worst criminals, gangsterism, white-collar crime, what have you. These are their philosophies. Other than that, they pretend to be something else. They'll be an atheist under the disguise of being a Christian. They will be, these are lecherous, fucking scumbags, they will be all these things under the guise of something else, some kind of religious person. And they also like Buddhism, and I go into detail as to why that is. I'll give you a little snippet, if you will. Buddhism is almost the same as atheism. It's a form of materialism in many, to a certain degree. Also, they teach detachment, which is, so what you're having here is the New Age guys talk about a deeper materialism, and they talk about mixing with Buddhist ideas, They try to make it seem like you can be a materialistic Buddhist. Also, a lot of homosexuals try to say that they were a woman in their last life, and that they use that to try to justify homosexuality. Homosexuals are sickos that use anything they can to justify. They put you in the same satanic group as them and point out that Satan is a queer. They say that, oh, they're born that way. And in Buddhism, they say that, well, we reincarnated, that they're a woman in their last life. So they use anything they can to try to justify their sick, decadent, degenerate behavior so they can debauch everyone that they come across. Their debauchery knows no bounds. Their depravity is more than just unbearably detestable. It is a fucking abomination. These people are abominations. They are cowards. They are weaklings. They are pedophiles. If you ever had any doubt in your mind that you were dealing with pedophiles before, you should know very well that you are dealing with them now. These people know that by harassing a mother of 5 children, that it is affecting their children. So now we've established that these people do not care what happens to children. They do not care if these children grow up to be criminals. They don't care if these children are drugged covertly as they're trying to drug the mother. They don't care if she gets in a car accident and kills her children. They don't care if they drive her mad or pretend to drive her mad and they give her children to pedophiles, the CPS being the lowly dogs that they are. They do not care. So we thoroughly established they don't care what happens to children. Now let's establish their sexual depravity, shall we? In the interview, she said that they had solicited her for sex. Piggies. Now, if you think about it, this also establishes that feminists don't really care about women. How many dyke lesbian cops are there out there? How many feminist cops are there? There are countless feminist cops. Pretty much every single cop that is a female is pretty much a gender feminist. Why? Because that is traditionally a male's role. It is such a gender feminist idea to the extreme, to the point where they don't want to admit to themselves that they're not as strong as men are. They don't want to admit to themselves that they're not as qualified for the job as men are. Okay? So what do? They turn a blind eye to it. They're not in it for true women's rights, or they wouldn't set women up to be pigs and get raped on the job or overpowered, as we saw in that one courtroom in like Atlanta or something, where that big black guy overpowered a female deputy and shot her in the fucking head and escaped. Just Google that. They don't want to admit that to themselves. Instead, they are pushing this gender feminist, Satanist ideology no matter what. No matter how many children are harmed, no matter how many women are raped by police officers, no matter how much sexual depravity goes on in the FBI, in the law enforcement, in the local different forms of law enforcement. They don't care. Government contractors raping women every day. They don't care. Just like with Blackwater that changed its name to Z. They do not care. Feminism is not about caring about women. Okay, I cannot stress that to you enough. The only group of people that I can think of, there's 2 groups of people I can think of that care about women. Christians and Muslims. There is no other group of people that care about women that is a major group and is defined as such. It doesn't exist. Feminists do not care about women. Period. If they did, they wouldn't abort females. Of those 43 million abortions every year, how many of them are women? How many of them are female babies? How many of them are late-term abortions? They don't care about women. They don't care about females. They don't fucking care. Look at me. They don't fucking care about females. They're trying to bring in a satanic fucking agenda. They are bearded lady baby killers. If they were so proud to be a female, they wouldn't be a fucking dyke. They wouldn't be a baby killing piece of shit. The fuck do you think? If they're proud to be a female, they would emphasize femininity instead of trying to be masculine. They do not care. It's really starting to piss me off. I'm going to leave it there. So, you'll see the timestamps. Some of them say 4:02. One says 5:53. The one that says 5:53, the blue one, it shows you the date. Thursday, February 25th, 2016. I saved this interview for today, which is 2016, February 26th, okay? Outgoing call is when she called me as I drove down to the road. First I drove down the road, then there was this gay guy, no underwear, sagging, showing his butt, hairy ass, I didn't want to see that, with his little gay dog, and he's on the side of the road, okay, where I usually upload the videos. That has never happened before. So I had to go down the road. They knew that I was about to do the interview. It didn't stop me. They tried to cyber attack me and keep me from opening my browser. I outmaneuvered them. It didn't stop me. So yeah, that's why that one is about almost 2 hours after the other ones, because I came up with the idea, you know what? Let's overkill this so nobody can ever say that the pigs aren't doing their job because of lack of evidence. The pigs are the most guilty group here, the FBI and the local police, because it is specifically their job to stop people from doing these things. So not only are they helping them do these things, but they are also not doing their job, which is to stop them. And that, of course, is because they belong to the same political groups, the same criminal element, and the same secret societies as these people do. Thank you. One last thing is, and we should cover this in the next interview, she said the 713 number, 2743429 number, is for the sergeant of, I think, Precinct 6, the precinct she was talking about in her part of Texas. And I just wanted to point that out because that's why that number is not cut. The only editing I did was to cut out the last 7 digits of my number, so you can see the 408, so you know it was to me. You know she did the interview. You know she's in Texas, and 408, quick Google, it's the Morgan Hills, San Jose area. Thank you. One more important thing, now that I've pointed out that they called with the intention of switching their narrative, her phone, since she didn't answer, sent them an automatic text that says, can't talk right now, and it was something like that, and what's up or something, automatic text. Some phones do that. And then she called back and they tried to change the narrative. I'd also like to point out that anyone who dates a pig, any female that dates a pig, shun the pigs in your community and shun their women and children. Let me tell you why. These are the family members, especially the wife, most specifically the wife. They date somebody who sits there and stares at naked women all fucking day. Okay? Think about it. No matter how you slice it. They do surveillance on people and they see naked women. They go through people's phones. They see naked women. They fucking hack into computers and fucking quote unquote, investigations. They see naked women. Naked women, naked women. They joke about it in the locker room. They deal with a bunch of fucking brain dead feminist whores that they have sex with their coworkers and shit. These are a bunch of sexually deviant scum. Okay? If you're dating a pig, you are basically dating a fucking serial rapist that is raping with impunity and invading people's privacy and jacking off to fucking naked women every fucking day. What kind of a lowly cunt, what kind of a complete, worthless, harlot, hussy whore would date a fucking pig?